Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber here. I was sitting here thinking tonight because I've been thinking about, baseball and everything. And I know many of you have heard me talk about that I play in this Superstar Baseball League, and I've been doing it for a long time. And I'm thinking about doing a weekly series to say, well, this week in Superstar in our league. Well, anyway, I thought, well, maybe I better, there's not a lot of advertisement about it. I'm going to give you a little bit of history about our league and where we've come from and where we are now. We started in about 1983 when we were stationed at George Air Force Base. Me and my friend Frank Meek got together and got about 5 or 6 of the other guys to start playing this. And at the time, Superstar Baseball was only the set came with 96 players in it, and then they finally released a second set of about 30 more players. But we were real happy with that. Then we decided that, well, we want to see the end of season, so we decided to create 30 game seasons. Well, we did 9 of those. And then, as being in the military and people transferring, people uh, retiring and moving away and so forth, our thing, you know, be, became non existent. I don't know what year it was when all of a sudden my buddy Frank and I that first formed it out of George realized we were still living close to each other. And so we got together and met and we says, well, let's get our league back together again. So we contacted my son Mike, who lived in Temecula. I think he might have been in Orange County then. I'm not sure where he was when we started back because he was one of the guys that he was younger, a lot younger then, but he played with us on George Air Force Base also. So we got it, and we recreated and we started again with 30 game seasons, starting with season number 10. Well, we played for a long, long time with just 3 owners, and so we always each owned 4 teams. But before we get to where we are, let me show you a little bit about what history on it. When we first started playing this was the box that it came in, the famous brown box with the 96 players in it, I believe it had, and the cards were a lot different. I have some in the other room. I could have showed you then, but I forgot to bring it out. So then eventually, I don't know, because of companies buying each other and that, it then became Sports Illustrated Superstar Baseball. Then during the time that we were uh, not playing, where we didn't even know that we were living close to each other again, uh, I guess that the franchise one quit and everything. And then when we got back together to start up on season 10 or 11, 10, we came across the fact that a man named Phil Graham had got the rights to make the cards, make the game, to regenerate it. And he did. And we jumped on board right away with him because what that meant, what he was creating, and he would update it about every 2 years or something like that. But it got to the point where this is what instead of the 126 guys, this is what Phil was offering. 32 teams, 27 players per team. And this just made it wonderful for us because we like to draft our teams. They're all-star teams. They carry current names and everything. And we stayed with Phil all the time. And Phil uh, eventually retired from making cards, I think in early 2021, I think it was, or late 2020. And but we're happy because with his sets and all of the files he sent us, we probably have, I would guess, somewhere around 3,000 players that we could draft from. And right now, and then so we picked up a fourth owner. So we went to 16 team leagues, 4 divisions, with 4 teams, two divisions in American, 2 divisions in the National. We don't play DH. There was a move last year to try to get DH in one of the leagues, but it didn't pass because it has to be unanimous by the owners. And so I'll show you some of the contents uh, before I get into some other things I wanted to show you. Beside that, you know, in Phil's game also came with really nice charts, color-coded charts, steel charts. You know, what do we got there? Picture rest charts, and this is what do we got down here? We don't use this too often. Hit and run charts, and then on the other side, just what's meaning on some of the cards, and then down here for double plays, grip ball, playing in, playing out, and so forth. So a lot of stuff in there. But here's a sample of one of the cards. I'll show you one of my Pittsburgh Pirate players. This is George Davis. And you can say, oh, look at this. I'm not used to doing this down here. Let me close this thing down right here. There we go. See the numbers. They go from 10 to 39. Well, what are you using? Spin dials and so forth? No, we're using dice. And I'm going to show you the dice right now. And then I'll more explain it. I'm going to move the camera down a little bit here. These were the original dice. 3 wooden dice. The black one has numbers 1, 2, and 3 on it. One of these dice, only one of them, has a 5 on it. And this one here goes to 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the lowest you can get is a 10. Highest you can get is a 39. And then these are some dice that you can pick up on eBay now. A little bit more durable dice than the old brown ones that. This is what we use right now. So that's the dice. So here's the picture cards. Okay. So the pitcher always rolls first. You can see this is Steve Carlton. Oh, Steve, let's turn him around. Card comes with some of his, I don't know if these, I can't remember if Phil told me, well, I used to communicate with them a lot, whether they were the best 4 or 5 years or whatever, however he compiled them. But it gives you wins, losses, saves, and ERA on there, the lefty. And that. So then the pitcher rolls first. I won't get into these D's up there and the ones through that's getting into the details. So them are automatic outs if you have your defense is rated at a certain rating. So anyway, we're going to say that Carlton throws a 34. Okay, and it's blank versus lefties and righties. But this is only starting pitchers and relief pitchers. The blank column for Carlton is the relief pitcher column. To the right there. So he throws the 34. So then Davis is up at plate. Oh, that's Carlton's batting card. Excuse me. Davis is up to the plate. And we'll say he rolled that 39 right there. Well, DP. Everybody knows what a DP is. That's a double play. Unless there's nobody on, of course, and then it's just a ground out. But you can see the 10 through 39, but there's versus lefties and versus righties, what they do against the different numbers and so forth. 34 and 35 are probably the highest percentage numbers in the game, and so they're the good ones if you can get them on there. Like George Davis here has a 34 against the righty. Anyway, so that's how the game's played. All right, and it's fast. We play probably about 30 minutes per game. We do our scoring on iScore. Which makes it even better because that compiles individual stats. But iScore, gets clogged up and everything. So what I'm going to show you now is I'm going to get out of the picture here for a minute or so. And I'm going to show you. We put everything in Microsoft Access. I'm the commissioner, so I do it. It requires me a little bit of work every week, but it's worth it because we have the individual seasons files now there. So let's go over here. See what we got. This is where we stand right now, as of this week. As you can see, the Division One in the American League, the Angels are leading right here, 5-3. This is their runs scored, their runs against, their run differential. KAs, that's the automatic outs. That's those Ds I was talking to you about in their errors. Boston's one of my teams, holding on second place right now. They got off to a little bit of a slow start. Then we go down here. Baltimore got off to a 6-0 start, and then they got beat in the. We're right now we're in interleague play. Detroit just hanging on, trying to chase them a little bit. That's one of my teams also. We'll get down here. The National League Division III. Pittsburgh's one of my teams. This is the cards I just showed. Those guys I just showed you played on these cards on that. And they're doing okay so far. And then down here, my Atlanta team, they're the defending World Series champions, and they're off to a really, really slow start. Of course, new teams, because it's not a keeper league, so everybody's thrown back into the pile. We have a system of drafting where we draft by positions that provides a great amount of equalness. I've lost the word in that. All right, so I'll show you. I'll go up here and I'll show you like the American League and the National League leading hitters at this point in time. And we used the 2.6 at bats per game for the batting thing. Okay, this is the American League. See right now, yeah, Joe Mauer batting 448 early in the season. I don't think that'll last. We got Ty Cobb batting 440. Ken Griffey is one of my players. We're hoping that he over the years, and a lot of people get shied away from drafting him because he never really has done nothing. He's off to a really hot start right now, but we'll see how long that lasts. There's a lot of familiar names out there if you're an old-time baseball player. Then I'll give you a quick look at the National League. Heine Manouche leading fourth. Look at them. Those fourth, we've only ever had one 400 hitter in 22 complete seasons. So those won't hold up. There's my George Davis man. This Bill Terry and George Davis, right now they're batting. Davis is leading off for Pittsburgh and Terry's batting second. Look at this start to the season they've had. It's crazy, crazy numbers. Tris Speaker's one of my guys in Atlanta. He finally woke up a little bit. And then remarks were made. We were getting thin on outfield, so I drafted Roger Maris as a starter for Atlanta, just to give him a shot. My friend Frank, by the way, my friend Frank that co-founded this league with me, passed away last season. And he used to like drafting Roger Maris, so I'll give him a try. So this is where he is right now. Batting 320, got a couple home runs, 7 RBIs. So we got a lot of reports that we can do. We can go in here and look at Atlanta hitters. I like this when I'm setting lineups and so forth. This is my Atlanta lineups. Okay, then what also a thing that we use, because we have rules on play. This is the Pittsburgh's, we call it pucks, player usage charts. All of the players in the top up here that were drafted, there's these 17 guys that were drafted, they all start off with a brown. And this means it's a must play. And in the rules, that's spelled out what a must play or must meet to get the green. So once he gets the green, then once he starts a game and plays his first game, he goes to green. These are guys that are down here in reserve. I don't know why Sparker Lyle's down there. That was a mistake. I'll have to go fix that later because there's only 5 guys allowed in the reserve. See, I'm short one reliever up here. I forget who it was. I made a move, but I probably didn't move it down here very well. So anyway, and then we list the injuries and so forth. And there's one for every team. Here's my Detroit team. Boston team. And the defending champs. Kiki Cuellar normally hits real well against lefties. He's not doing so far yet. He's about ready to lose his starting position. Albert Pujols isn't doing too hot. I benched him for a couple of games, and putting him back in to try to get him going again. So these are the player usage charts, and these change every week and there, so forth. We have pitching rotation charts that we use. These it's not necessarily this order. There's another chart. I'm not going to bring that up because I'll have to go searching for it. Okay, so maybe let's see how hard it is to bring that up. Oh, it's not going to be too hard at all today. Okay. As you can see, there's the pitching rotations. A 5-man rotation, and they're listed in there. And so, like on game number 18 or game number 8 that we just played the other day, this is number 3 pitchers because it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1 becomes 6, 2 becomes 7, 3 becomes 8, etc. It goes on. And pitchers can be changed out of that rotation if you have anybody that you on your reserves that you want to, or in the case of injuries, you can hire a free agent pitcher to come in and fill in the slot. Yeah, we do have free agent hirings during the season too in our rules. So this is the pitching rotations we use. And lastly, I was going to show you something here. These are our rules, and hasn't been revised for a while. And this particular rule set started in November of 2012. We had been playing Vincent, but we did a little bit of history, and then we go through the rules, and we have league management, team owners, commissioners' responsibilities, team owners' responsibilities, managers. A team owner doesn't have to be at every game session. And sometimes you can play by Skype if you want to play by Skype. We did a lot of Skyping during the bad part of COVID. We just last week got back in the head-to-head but we were wearing masks for the first time since November. League composition, team composition, farm teams, team management and gameplay. These are all gameplay. Roster changes, trades, gameplay, more, pitching rotations, batter fielder managements. We built this. This has now become just instead of when we first were playing this just set the lineup, shake the dice, set the line, shake the dice. This is now also became a manager and owner simulation. In addition to just shaking the dice and everything, makes it cool. It's challenging. A lot of work, a lot of thoughts it got to do. Starting pitcher management, injury, and then I'm trying to get down here. There ain't too much more. Special gameplay rule brawls. I like that. There is brawls. I adapted this from I don't know another game and brought it over to ours. Okay. Then we have the draft. Okay. We originally started off that this could only be retired players. Then back probably about season 16, I would say 15 or 16, we decided to allow some active duty players to be in. But right now we got where the owner may draft 3 active fielders and 2 active pitchers during the draft. Okay. And that's our rules. And I just wanted to give you a history of that. I was been thinking about this. I talk about Superstar Baseball that I'm in, Charity League. Hey, if anybody wants a copy of the rules, hit me up in the bottom, or send me. You can find me on Facebook, or I'll put my email in the down in the description. You can send me an email, and I'll send you a copy of the rules if you want to look at it, if you're interested in Superstar Baseball. It's still a fun game. It just is, one out of non-existence. It came out in the heyday when APA was getting started, so that kind of held it back a little bit because APA really and Stratomatic were all starting back in that time, and so that had a hard time making its way into the market. And I can understand that. So that's it for this. I'm thinking of doing a weekly, like calling it This Week in Superstar Baseball. And it'll be like an update of what happened that week in our games, the winners, the losers, the stars, and so forth like that. So that's what I'm thinking about doing right now. But I wanted to give you this Superstar history and a history of our league before I did anything like that. So please go down there and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Push this out in the social media channels because there definitely is not a lot out there on YouTube for Superstar Baseball. So let's give it a go. This is SoCal Saber saying take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and stay safe.